Hi guys, I thought I would jump right back on here while I'm up early and go through a couple things. I made some notes, so if you want to bear with me. As you can see back here, I'll start. Oh, I was going to go to church today, but this is the situation here. So I'm going to go over. I would like to go to church. It is Ash Wednesday coming, and I do have some things I need to work on, like coffee. Excuse me. I bought numerous coffee makers. This one was working good, but it's not. It's like a manual drip, and I can show you. But it's not working right now, and I bought like numerous coffee makers, and they either get stolen or damaged, or this has been going on a decade. So as you can see back there, I was going to go to church, but we have to talk about something, and sorry, it's Sunday. That is my little fancy bra. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because my ex told me, oh, you'll be in menopause, nobody will want you. So we'll get into a little bit of menopause at midlife divorces, and certainly ones like this of post-separation abuse, domestic violence, this derogatory ideas about women in middle age, because this was done deliberately. So here it is a decade, and I took a Uber, and this girl was so adorable, this woman. She was in her early 40s. I think she thought I was a little bit younger because she was going to be remarried, and she went through quite a number of experiences herself that were pretty bad. And so she was going to get remarried. They were talking about having children. God bless, how great. But she was talking about dating. And so I have my little fancy bra over there because I got in to take my first shower, and it was pretty bad. Out of shape, you don't feel well, you're certainly not in the mood or your situation to be dating people. And it's been a decade. So all of his divorced friends are married, and they had kids within the year. Actually, one of them bragged she was going to Siegel's, which is a local jeweler here, and picked out her diamond ring within the first year. Pretty good size, I might add. And another friend, we went, unfortunately, to his funeral. She started dating this guy, and a year later, we went to his funeral. So that was the kind of way that these women are treated, friends of my ex-husband, after they divorced these, and most of them are. There's very few. There's a kind of a large group. So we're going to touch base on that. We'll talk about health and health insurance when it comes to domestic violence. The shower in there is broken, so it's a nice shower, but where the nozzle goes in, it's a handheld, it's broke. So we have the heat, the shower, and the TV situation. And I mentioned the Cernex, which is a family that I rented from over here on Ridge Road, and that was a nightmare. I did make videos, but I don't think they're up on my page, so we can get into some of that. So the Uber driver was talking about dating, and I'm like, with a situation like this, it's very difficult. You're out of shape, you don't feel well, so you could sort of, it's not a good situation that you want to date, and certainly you want to be in a settled, safe space. Somebody asked about emergency numbers. How can you leave an emergency number? My family was involved, the so-called friends were involved, so try to meet someone at this point. It's difficult, and even to make a friend. So we can talk about that, how the difference between the two, both of us was handled, where, everything's taken care of for him to get remarried and move on. And within the year, he was remarried. People told me he was already fooling around. And I knew that up to Lake House because this woman was stealing things from me. Yada, yada, yada. We can get into that. But yeah, suffice to say, here it is a decade later, and I'm still trying to just get a safe place to live. So it was funny. God bless her, Naomi. She was wonderful. I just started taking Ubers. Thank God we have them up here because transportation's a nightmare, and these judges should have known that. I had a brand new vehicle. We had an SUV, a $20,000 Harley Davidson. He was given a brand new Buick from his aunt, which it had 2 year, very low mileage. It was like brand new. But it was $30 to get up here, so $60 there's a Walmart where I was, so it would be $60 just for transportation to go to Walmart. So it's expensive when you don't have a vehicle up here, but that's what what I'm dealing with now after they took all these vehicles and gave them to him. So shout out to Rich Godlewski. Yes, Rich and my ex-brother-in-law. And a lot of these people are skiing Denver. Yes, but they got on my page and told me you don't ski Denver. So, you know, all this bragging. Every Christmas, my ex-husband would go snowmobile riding. We would buy all the equipment for him, the trips. Little did I know they were all going to the strip club, and then others would go skiing. I'd have to hear all Christmas stories about, you know, these great ski trips and equipment. And here I sit, my lake house was a mile up the road. I could be in a nice warm toasty lake house. We redid everything, decks, windows, doors, septic, you name it. And Gore Mountain is an hour away. It's a beautiful mountain. I had just bought a pair of shape skis, a pair of girl boots, because they never had boots for my size, so I often had to get men's. And, you know, do a little skiing after 10, 15 years of not being able to, or 20 years of my marriage, I didn't ski, while he was out snowmobile riding up to Canada with all the greatest equipment, brand new high-end sleds every 2 years. So this is what goes on with an economic abuse. So you think, wow, I went out, I got a pair of $800 skis and they stole them. So I should be sitting in my lake house. You know, I don't want to cry over spilt milk, but it's a decade now and I can't even do anything. So I set the heater. I'm thinking maybe it just works on high. So I'm trying again to see if the heater will work. I'm going to check the temperature. But yeah, this is what you deal with post-separation abuse. So all these guys are out skiing, snowmobiling for a decade now. Judges went out of their way to not only take care of his basic needs, but to make sure he, you know, was out vacationing and traveling and getting remarried. And here I am trying to get heat, hence the, you know, my little fancy bra there. So, you know, forget about dating, forget about meeting friends, forget about going out, forget about having any money to do anything. I have $500 in my checking account right now. And I have to deal with his 401k, this money, this little bit of money I got. It continues to be a nightmare. So this is an update. Did I say, yeah, Rich, have fun skiing. These are all his friends that bragged about skiing and we're all involved. You don't ski Denver. Somebody told me that. So, but they're out in Colorado and the skiing's beautiful. And, you know, he was bragging up a storm about how he skis Denver. But, you know, the skiing's great out there. I wish I were skiing. I wish I was doing something fun today. But this is what I'm doing today. And it came up to 4 degrees. It didn't get to 3, but it's 4. I tried to do my hair a little bit. I try, but this is what you deal with. This is a decade, guys, a decade. So be safe out there. Sorry if it was a little different. I'm trying to work off a little bit of I made some notes here. So sorry if it was a little, I'm a little over. So I'm sorry to ramble on, and be safe, be well, and we'll talk soon. Take care.